Starting off the visiting team, Benicia Outlaws. Leading off, number 21, playing shortstop, Katie Chambers. Batting second, playing second base, number 54, Haley Randall. In the 3 spot, third baseman, number 10, Alyssa Cueva. Our cleanup batter will be number 29, pitcher, Amanda Ajari. In the 5 spot, number 14, playing first base, Kate Gillum. Batting sixth, catcher, number 17, Jennifer McHugh. In the 7th spot, number 27, center fielder, Jenna Baza. Batting 8th, number 7, playing left field, Megan Chambers. And in the 9th spot, number 19, right fielder, Jordan Coombs. Substitutes for the Outlaws, number 22, Rachel McClure. And number 28, Alyssa West. The home team today's game will be Delta Heat. Leadoff hitter, number 42, playing right field, Amy Godmere. In the 2 spot, number 16, center fielder, Hannah Henson. Batting third, number 10, Kiana Jones. Batting fourth, number 1, playing third base, Gabby Dorval. In the 5 spot, number 3, playing first base, Emily Horn. In the 6th spot, number 27, catcher, Liv Milescu. Batting 7th, number 13, shortstop, Jessie Westrate. In the 8th spot, number 4, our pitcher, Ronnie Westrate. Batting 9th, number 75, playing second base, Veronica Sawatsky. And the flex player, number 12, playing left field, Steph Sheena. Substitutes for today's game for the Delta Heat, double zeros, Autumn Hillier. And number 11, Sophia Buckberger. And watching from home for the Delta Heat, could make the trip this time, number 9, Megan Hendrickson. Also, number 6, Katrina Hedden. Your umpires for today's championship game, on the first base line will be Stacy Stobo from San Francisco, California. On the third base line from Fairview, Oregon, Gavin Williams. And behind the plate from Belgrade, Montana, Ken Linder.
All right, if everybody can please rise for the national anthems. The Delta Heat players will be singing the Canadian national anthem with their assistants. Who's holding it? Or do you guys think you need it?
Yeah, you want to come do it with me? Oh, yeah, everyone get around here.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons' command.
Well done. Jonathan, the U.S. anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, ladies, let's play ball. 2019 USA Softball Western National Championships.
Okay. Capital Community Television, in cooperation with the City of Salem, presents the 2019 USA Softball 18A Fast Pitch Western National Championships, coming to you from Wallace Marine Park in Salem, Oregon.
Here you go, Heath. Go, start it up, Ross.
Capital Community Television, in cooperation with the City of Salem, presents the 2019 USA Softball 18A Fast Pitch Western National Championships, coming to you from Wallace Marine Park in Salem, Oregon. Today's championship game features a Delta Heat from Delta, British Columbia, and the Benicia Outlaws from Benicia, California. Beautiful day at Wallace Marine Park. We're just getting ready to go. We'll be back with the national anthem, both for the United States and Canada, right after this message.
Lead-off batter for the Benicia Outlaws. Shortstop number 21, Katie Chambers.
Glad you could join us on Capital Community Television in Salem, Oregon, also streaming live on the City of Salem's YouTube channel. John Piper along with Brian Sutherland. We've got a rematch, Brian. We saw the ball game this morning between the Delta Heat and Benicia Outlaws, with Delta winning that 12-2, but entirely new situation here in the championship game. That's all out the window. It's a new ball game.
Brand new ball game, starting all over again. None of that means anything, and the Outlaws are coming off a big win against the Oregon City Nightmares, so they're feeling good about things. All starts again, brand new.
First ball to Katie Chambers, the shortstop for the Outlaws from the Bay Area in California. Had to go through the loser's bracket to get back into this championship game. And a strike call. In the circle is Ronnie Westrate for the Delta Heat from Delta, British Columbia. They've had some time off today, so they should be a little bit fresher.
I believe, John, they got a bye in the first round of the pool play. And then, because they've been in the winner's bracket they've played a lot less than the Outlaws.
Chambers reaches out, fouls it off. Well, it's definitely an advantage, and the fewer games you play, less wear and tear on the body. Even though these are high school girls, still fairly warm day to day, playing that many games. Got to be a little bit sore.
I think also you're deep into the pitching right now, so especially for the Outlaws, I mean, it's been game after game after game here, and so their pitching is going to be put to the test.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Ball 3, full count. And we mentioned that first game between these two took place at 11 a.m. this morning. 12-2 victory for the Delta Heat. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Nice pitch on the outside corner.
Lest anybody think that that's an indicator of a pitcher's duel. We've watched starts like this now for the last couple 3 games, and they turn out to be slugfests.
Haley Randall, second baseman, steps in. Well, these teams are definitely capable. They can hit the ball out of the park. We've seen a lot of balls go over the fence during this tournament, which started on Thursday with pool play, a couple of days of bracket play, and now Championship Sunday. And the weather has just been fantastic for this tournament.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And Wallace Marine Park in excellent shape.
Another great national tournament put on by Billy Powers, the city of Salem, and his crew.
High for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's a great 0-2 pitch. Going to see if she can chase it for you.
And pitching ahead, definitely a huge advantage. You can throw one away and hope you're going to chase it. And a strike on the outside corner. And again, Weststreet finding the edges there, and the result is another strikeout.
John, earlier in the tournament, you and I watched the other pitcher for the Heat, Kiana Jones, and she's a great pitcher as well. But Ronnie Westgate, West Rate, seems to have a little bit more giddy up here.
Stepping in is number 10, Elisa Cueva.
Now batting, number 10, third baseman, Alyssa Cueva.
And there are really no easy outs in any of these, on either of these teams.
No, and last game versus the Oregon City Nightmare, Cueva hit a bomb out of here. It was way out.
Grounder fouled off down the right field line.
Working her inside, got in on her hands. Ahead in the count, she still wants her to hit her pitch.
Right through. And that's a great inning. A couple of strikeouts looking, 1 swinging. And a great start for Ronnie Weststreet. And you mentioned, Brian, that we've seen, let's take a look at that last pitch. It's a beauty.
She just paints that outside corner. It's a beautiful pitch. And the catcher does a great job of framing that pitch.
Heat will be Brockmere, Hanson, and Jones.
But we've seen games where things have kind of started out slowly offensively, and then all of a sudden an explosion. But Weststreet looked totally in command there in this first inning.
You know, earlier in the tournament, what we saw was pitchers dominating for the first time through. The second time through, the hitters start to make adjustments and start to put the ball in play a little bit more. And then the third time through, what we've seen is it's been the offensive slugfest.
John Piper along with Brian Sutherland. Championship Sunday, the final game with Benicia and the Heat from Delta, British Columbia now Should Benicia win this game, they'll have to play a second game to decide the champion, as Benicia has one loss. Heat are perfect.
Here you go.
Leadoff hitter for the Delta Heat. Right fielder number 42, Amy.
Leading off for the Outlaws is, or rather for the Delta Heat, is Amy Godmer.
Boy, and Amy had a big game the last time these two teams played. She was 3 for 4 with a double. Very first pitch of the game, she hit a shot down the right field line, so she's pretty aggressive up there.
Takes strike one.
And Ajari throws her a changeup that just freezes her. And she says, if you want to paint the outside corner, I can do it too.
2 quick strikes.
Now she should try to get her to chase something here. Too close to the plate. That's too... You cannot put a ball up there that a hitter can hit.
Especially when you're ahead.
Second,
0-2.
0-2.
Hannah Hansen.
That's going to bring up Hannah Hansen, the center fielder.
Hansen, last game these two played, had 3 hits, including a home run.
Down to second base, she is out. And a little bit surprising to run, but
I agree.
good play there by the Outlaws.
That's the first time I think we've actually seen them be real aggressive on the bases. They're usually, I mean, they swing it so well. This is a great throw. She just puts it right on the money. Shortstop on that, took the throw, and all she had to do was catch it and set it down. You know, it's pretty impressive. We got quite a Canadian contingent here.
They definitely are loud and supporting their team. They've got the We the North shirts on, most of them, in tribute to the Toronto Raptors winning the NBA championship. They're going to remember that for a long time.
The Canadians travel well. If you've ever been up to the Mariners when Toronto comes into town, I'm telling you, they take over. The Mariners announcers were on the other night begging people to come to the game to try to offset the Canadians.
Three balls and 2 strikes now.
Hansen went 3-2 in the first game, first time they played, before she got a base hit.
Ball 4. Sends Hansen down to first base.
Boy, that thrown out stealing really looks big now, doesn't it?
Kiana Jones steps in now.
Here we go, Jonesy, here we go.
Well, I guess you figure you want to try and see whether you can do that. You found out right away you can't. As a catcher did a really nice job with that throw.
Yes, she did. And I mean, it is a bit curious, and I mean, coaches know their team's far better than we do, but with Hannah Hansen up, who, like I said, the last time they played, it hit a home run, I'm probably going to let her swing. But it's easy for me to say.
Popped out of play.
Here we go, KJ.
Again, now this is where she made a mistake last time. Maybe gave her something too good. Gave Godmeyer something too good to hit. Again, that's, in my mind, I want that thing 6 inches off the plate.
Hungry, Ken, you're hungry.
Something swinging at something over her head, throwing the changeup in the dirt. See, that's a good 0-2 pitch right there.
And a strikeout. A pitch that was well out of the zone.
Come on, Gab.
Gabby Dorval, third baseman, steps in now with 2 outs. And a runner on first base is Hannah Hansen.
She was 1 for 3 the last game with a couple of strikeouts.
Fouls off the first pitch. Line drive right to the third baseman. Got all of that.
That right there was catch it or wear it. I mean, that's self-preservation right there. That was a rocket.
Cueva on third base.
Runs on 1 hit, no errors. For the Delta
Watch
Heat
quick.
after one.
Don't look away because you'll be over before you'll see it. They did a nice job.
Jari, Gillum, and McHugh.
So after one complete inning in the championship game, we have no score. And for Cueva, got the ball in, just kind of tossed it like, no big deal.
Yeah.
That was a good play.
And I got to tell you right now, John, I mean, I'm looking at this, and Ronnie Weststraight is on pace to strike out 21 batters. She struck out all 3 in the first.
She is throwing well, isn't she?
So I'm not making a prediction that she's going to strike out 21, but he's got a left-handed catcher here for the Heat, something we don't see very often. Certainly in baseball, you don't see a little bit more in softball, but still most of the time your catcher's right-handed, does a great job on the plate, Liv Milescu.
Leading off the top of the second is Amanda Ajari, who is a home run machine.
She may be the most feared hitter in this tournament amongst a lot of really good hitters. She went deep in the first one, hit a home run. First time these two teams played. It's a great pitch right on the outside corner. Went deep in the game previous to this as well.
Beautiful pitch on the outside corner again, and Weststraight taking her time. Obviously, this would be a huge out for the Heat if they could get Ajari.
You bet. Now this should be a good 0-2 pitch, something make her go get it. There, that's a good 0-2 pitch. Way up in the zone, she'd have had to swing over her head to get to that. That's a good 0-2 pitch. Now you can afford to go and nibble a little bit. If you go 2-2, no big deal. That's a great
Swing on this. And Weststraight, 4 strikeouts now against 4 hitters.
She's still on pace.
Don't want to jinx her.
I got.
Playing first base, Kate Gillum.
We might be witnessing the greatest pitching performance in the history of softball.
Kate Gillum playing first base today. Little grounder out to the pitcher. Yeah, that's a second out.
Okay, we can say now that she will not.
Not going to have the strikeout record.
Exactly. Boy, she threw that ball in on the handle, just jammed her. It's just jam sandwich.
Not much the hitter could do with that one other than not swing at it.
Yeah.
Next up, number 17 catcher, Jennifer McHugh.
Jennifer McHugh, the catcher. Well, that's one thing the hitter has to do. If it's not the pitch you want and it's the first pitch, let it go. Fouled out of play, but we've seen a lot of batters in this tournament with that first pitch swinging. Oftentimes that is the best pitch they'll get.
Yeah. Okay, because if they allow these pitchers to get ahead, they're going to start to nibble and throw a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then you're really on defense as a hitter.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Jennifer McHugh, last time they played, had a couple of singles.
And interesting watching Ronnie Weststraight's motions there before she pitches it, throws the ball in her glove a few times. Big swing and a miss.
And she goes through, John, she does the same routine every single time, which is key for a pitcher.
Foul back. Just about jumped out of my seat again.
Yeah, I did as well. That's a good 1-2 pitch though too. It wasn't so far out of the zone that it's an easy take. Close enough that she had to get a bat on it.
That glove is getting a workout. A swing and a miss. And another 1-2-3 inning. And she has been outstanding here. And that's one of the decisions the coaching staff has to make. Who are you going to start in that championship game? They've had some time off, so they decided to go with Westrate, and so far it's been a really good decision.
You see that pitch right on the outside corner. That's just a fantastic fast pitch softball pitch.
As we head to the bottom of the second, still no score. And Westrate is cruising along. Championship game of the 2019 USA Softball 18A Fast Pitch Western Nationals from Salem, Oregon, on Capital Community Television in Salem, and also streaming live on the City of Salem's YouTube channel.
Apparently, John says you go here to Softball City USA, Softball City USA. That's what you look up when you go to YouTube, and that'll take you where you can go to the field camera, as I recall, and you can pick us up live.
And also they're archiving those games as well, I think, so really has been a great tournament. A long way to go in this ball game. I want to thank all of the people from the City of Salem who make this possible. Billy Powers is the tournament director, Maggie Combs is assistant, and a whole lot of other people make these tournaments possible.
City of Salem and Billy Powers have worked very hard to make the City of Salem and Wallace Marine Park a destination softball location.
Emily Horn, the first baseman, takes ball one.
And they've done it, and done it pretty darn well.
That is high for ball two.
Now, I'm going to tell you that the last time these two teams played, earlier in the day today, Emily had a game, she was 4 for 4 with a double.
Grounder out to short. Bad hop. And Emily Horn is going to be on first. But kind of a funny bounce there.
It did. It was hit hard. Hit right on the nose.
Number 27, Liv Molescu.
You don't want to give the Heat extra turns of bat.
Olivia Molescu, the catcher, with a runner on first base is Emily Horn. Driven into center field. First pitch swinging pays off for the Heat. And this team has just been playing better and better as this tournament goes on. They had a close game early in the tournament, but they have just been pounding the softball, scoring 12 runs in the win over the Outlaws earlier today. Had a big win in the game right before this to get here.
Okay. Shortstop number 13, Jesse Westrate.
They played good fundamental softball.
Jesse Westrate, the shortstop, steps in. Runners on first and second base, and we've got a blank out there where it says out. So yeah, this is a great opportunity for the Heat here and a real challenge for Amanda Ajari in the circle for the Outlaws.
And you've got one of the best power hitters for the Heat, and in this tournament at the bat, Jesse Westrate can hit the ball deep.
Ball gets away. Runners are going to advance. Now we've got runners on second and third with nobody out, and one of your best hitters at the plate.
Small thing out there, but what a great read at second base by the base runner. Saw that ball had kicked away and was on her way to third base quickly.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Heat would like to have a big inning here. We've seen that happen in this tournament several times with the opponent then coming back, but it's got to give you a good feeling when you jump on your opponent.
But that right there was a rise ball that stayed at the top of the zone. That's a tough pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Ball gets away, not far enough away. This is a rather small area behind home plate here, so got to have it bounce off the screen and go somewhere else. You can't expect to get home if it just stays behind the plate.
So with no outs right there, if you don't get an immediate read on that ball and you hesitate at all, let's just stay put. You got a good hitter up. There you go. That ball's out of there. That will be another one.
For Jesse Westgate. And a no-doubter up high there. We've seen a lot of line drive home runs. That one cut up in the sky.
That one was majestic. That was a big fly. And we've got no outs. I mean, you can see that ball was hit deep, and that wasn't just barely clearing the fence. That went way out of here.
Batting next.
Now for the Outlaws, you got to forget about that one. You still have to get 3 outs in this inning, and then you have to get your bats going. And you've had a hard time against Ronnie Westrate, who steps in, she's an excellent pitcher, but also an excellent hitter.
She's done a great job since she. There you go. There you go. Oh, great shot there in left field. Megan Chambers, nice play.
And Chambers has made a number of nice plays out there. I can remember one where she took away a home run right at the fence.
That was a good-looking play out there. Well done. And I'll tell you, John, getting behind is not anything unusual for the Outlaws. And they were behind last game. They're just going to keep swinging it.
Veronica Sawatsky, ground ball over to first base. She'll handle it herself. Kate Gillum takes care of that unassisted. 2 outs now.
And we're back up here with Amy Godmeyer, who can hit the ball. I would not want to face her.
Number 32, Amy Godmeyer.
In fact, there's a lot of them I wouldn't want to face.
Outside for ball 1. Well, she's the leadoff hitter for a reason.
And a good hitter. I mean, not a slapper, just she can hit.
And needs to straighten that one out, but we've seen several games where she has driven those line shots out to right field. Got great control with her bat.
Everything she's hit, every hit she's got that I've seen has all gone to the right side, so you really need to work her outside. Like that right there. But it seems like what people have been trying to do is they'll go outside a couple times, get a couple strikes, and then they try to sneak one in on the inside, and she makes them pay. It's a good 1-2 pitch, though.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Godmere really knows the strike zone.
Just an excellent player. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Come on, kid.
2 down and already 3 runs in. And let that one go by. That was pretty close. That was high, so down to first base goes Godmere, and Hannah Hansen steps in.
That's what I was talking about, though. She knows the strike zone. She's got a good feel for it.
Now batting number 16, Hannah Hansen.
Hannah Hansen's the 7th batter in the inning. Been a long inning for the Outlaws.
Takes ball 1. Ball gets away, and Godmere down to second base.
It's at least 2 of those this inning that have gotten by.
That rise ball just kept rising.
Whether they be wild pitches or pass balls, the bottom line is they're giving the Heat extra bases.
Grounder out to short, nice hop, nice throw, and a 3rd out, but a 3-run inning for the Delta Heat. behind that home run by Jesse Westrate, that sky ball.
Here's that last play again. It's pretty routine. The shortstop for the Outlaws does a nice job, gets her feet set, and just throws a strike over to first
3 runs
base.
for the Heat on 2 hits.
Our score after 2 complete innings, the Delta Heat 3 and the Outlaws nothing.
A 3-run lead.
John Piper, Brian Sutherland, and the rest of our crew. Thanks to all of our CCTV staff members and volunteers. This is our 3rd day doing games. I think we had a day of setup. So about 4 days committed, and thanks to all those folks.
It sure is fun to do these too. You know, they'd be nice if down the road maybe we could do some more of them.
Now for the Outlaws, got to get those bats going. It's been 1-2-3, 1-2-3. And we've seen them before, as you mentioned, start out slowly. And then about the 3rd time through the order, the ball's flying all over the place.
There should be no panic in their dugout right now because, again, they've been behind, and it doesn't seem to bother them a great deal.
Jenna Bossa, the center fielder, steps in. She is quick.
Quick on quick.
Got to be ready for a bunt here. Unable to get it down. But Westrate is just so confident in the circle.
Sometimes you get in that zone as a pitcher where the plate looks really big, like you can just do whatever you want. I don't know that she's in that zone yet. I mean, might take a couple more innings before we can figure out if she's in that zone.
Grounder stabbed by the first baseman, unassisted.
But it also helps when you got on a few plays that do have to be made, that your folks in the field are helping you out. Well, that is only the second one. The last one was to her. Was to
left fielder Megan Chambers.
Was the rest rate.
Emily Horn making the play unassisted at first base. Megan Chambers, left fielder, had that great catch. And at this level, you've got to have your defense playing at its best.
That was one of the best plays I've ever seen. That was just fantastic.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That ball that she's throwing right now, that's a drop ball, and it is just diving. I mean, you know, you can tell the swings look funny. It's almost like they're trying to chop them. The ball's just disappearing on them.
Back to the pitcher. Easy play. 2 down now.
Apparently Ronnie's not going to let everybody else play this game.
Next, number 19, right fielder Jordan Coombs.
And number 19, Jordan Coombs, the right fielder, comes in. Was added to the roster.
She got a base hit last game. Big hit.
Swing and a miss. That was a big win in that last game, obviously, for the Outlaws over the Oregon City Nightmare.
Because Oregon City came out and jumped on them right off the get-go.
They had to come from behind in that one.
They did.
Attempts a bunt, 2 quick strikes.
And what's impressive about it is they kept chipping away, and eventually, before it was over, they not only caught up, they destroyed them. I mean, it was...
Well, I'm sure the coaching staff has reminded them that, hey, we've been in this situation before. You maybe don't get them all back at once, but you get a few back at a time. Swing and a miss, and Westrate is just painting that outside corner. The hitters can't catch up. She has just done a fantastic job.
She has been dynamite. She just blows this. This swing takes place after the ball's almost in a catcher's glove. Ronnie Westrate has been just super.
So as we head to the bottom of the 3rd, 3-run advantage still for the Delta Heat over the Benicia Outlaws.
That is a pitcher that is on fire right now.
Once again, you're watching the championship game from the 2019 USA Softball 18A Fast Pitch Western Nationals from Salem, Oregon, Wallace Marine Park. John Piper along with Brian Sutherland and the rest of our Capital Community Television crew out here. Had a great time out here. And we're going to have a chance in just a minute to talk with the USA Softball representative, Roger Garcia, and also get in a few words with the assistant softball coach out at Corbin University.
I think that's Jesse Isham, isn't it?
Jesse Isham, Sprague athlete.
One of the best softball players she's ever been produced out of Sprague.
And a base hit for number 10, Kiana Jones.
That was Kiana Jones with the solid ground ball to left field for a single. Coming up next, number 1, third baseman, Gabby Dorval.
Come on, one.
So runner on first base.
Got a job to do, kid. Here we go.
Gabby Dorval, good hitter. Ooh, nice change. That freezes you.
It's not yours.
But that's a good one to lay off, because out there when you're in the count, you're looking for a particular pitch, and she wasn't looking for it, so let it go. It's the beauty of having 3 strikes.
Driven out to left field and not quite far enough, so a long out.
Megan Chambers out there again.
Next up, number 3, Emily Horn.
Emily Horn will step in with 1 out and a runner on first base.
She got on last time at the East. That was an E6.
Takes ball 1.
A little bit low and away.
Yeah, we're being joined now by Roger Garcia, USA Softball representative. And Roger, thanks for being with us. We'll follow the action here and talk with you just a little bit. Tell us, first of all, a little bit about USA Softball and the organization.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to come up here and talk to you about our great program. USA Softball, represented obviously nationwide. We have right now basically the 18A Western National, so most of the teams come out of the Region 9 area, which Alaska, Washington, Oregon, Montana, Utah, representing a vast amount of teams. This is what we call championship weekend, so this is the western side right now in Salem, Virginia. We've got another tournament going on, so all over the U.S. we've got USA Softball being played.
Talk a little bit about this particular tournament here in Salem. We're very proud, obviously, to be able to host this. How does this compare with some other tournaments around the country?
Oh, this is by far, the city of Salem does a fantastic job. I've been all over the U.S. Being the USA Softball representative, and the city of Salem by far is the best city for hosting tournaments. Billy Powers, his staff, Maggie Coombs, who is contracted out from JAG Softball, helps put this tournament on, and they do a wonderful job. Their staff and all the members out here just put a great event on.
One of your responsibilities is to evaluate the tournament and find out if there are any problems. I know you've talked with parents. What kind of response have you got?
Oh, the parents just have loved this tournament. I mean, we've had great weather as today. I mean, we're probably in the 90s or high 80s, and this has just been a wonderful event. The concessions, the hospitality, the hotels, the whole city just has rallied around this event and supporting USA Softball. We so appreciate this event.
We've got a runner coming home now for the Heat, and they have gotten off to a great start. Roger, thanks very much for joining us now. If you could turn that microphone over to Jesse Isom, assistant softball coach at Corbin. We'll trade places here.
Jesse Westrate, by the way, on the base hit.
And Jesse, thank you for joining us real briefly here. Assistant coach at Corbin, outstanding program out there. What are some of the keys that have made that program so successful?
Yeah, Corbin University has been really successful in the past because we do a really good job at working hard and giving our best in everything that we do, but also we work on training our athletes to not only be great players but great people as well.
Now you played in high school at Sprague High School right here in Salem, and then went to Minnesota, and then played 3 years at Corbin. What was that like for you playing at Corbin?
Yeah, Corbin has been a really tremendous thing that's happened in my life. There were a lot of things that happened previously that weren't necessarily the best, and Corbin has definitely changed my life significantly. And their softball program and our coaches and staff have all really done an amazing job of really bringing us together as a team and making sure that we know what's going to go on in life and how we're going to move on past the game of softball as well.
Now you've had an opportunity to watch some of these games here at the Western Nationals. What's your assessment of some of the players you've seen out here?
Yeah, there's been some really great competition that we've seen so far, and I've been really happy with the turnout. These girls have played really hard. They've played their hearts out, and this is going to be a really great championship game, I think.
Maybe an opportunity to get somebody to come to Corbin University.
Absolutely, yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
All right, thanks very much. Jesse Isom, assistant softball coach at Corbin University. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
John, that's one of the best players to ever come out of Salem.
She did have an outstanding high school career, and then at Corbin, they've just had an outstanding program there. And thanks to Roger Garcia for joining us. And really, we take a great deal of pride here in Salem with this facility and with the tournaments that are hosted. A lot of credit goes to the staff from the city of Salem that puts all this together, but a lot of volunteers and a lot of other people that make it happen. And we're just glad at Capital Community Television to be part of it.
And I mean, tell you, I know it's a broken record. We keep talking about how beautiful the park is, but it really, really is just gorgeous. And, we talk about, Roger talked about the other tournaments and how Salem's head and shoulders above. One of the things that makes, even if you go to another tournament, most of them are held in real warm weather places. I don't care how you keep the field. If it's 110, it's really tough. Here, with our weather, it just makes it a very nice place to play.
And the leadoff hitter for the Outlaws, Katie Chambers, comes up, and so far it's been 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, basically. And Westrate has really not been challenged.
No, she's gone through the order one time. We should get a feel about the adjustments that the hitters are going to make as she heads through the order the second time.
Now we're going to have a little bit of plate maintenance here, so I don't think Westrate, doesn't really matter. She's just throwing strikes.
Like I said, that plate looks real big to her right now.
It's kind of like the basket when you're making every shot.
Yeah, exactly right. I never had that experience.
Chambers with a swing and a miss. And I just like so much Westrate's composure. She's got her routine down. And catches that outside corner again. And she has just been outstanding here so far, and that's got to be frustrating as the game goes on for the Outlaw hitters.
That probably was right at the upper edge of the zone.
And Chambers, good job there defending the plate. And when those balls are on that outside corner, you've got to go the other way. Just try to get it through the gap or over the head of the infielder.
Remember the rule now, 0-2, you don't give her a pitch that she can do anything with. Make her swing at something that's definitely not her pitch.
And a called third strike.
And you know what? Yeah, I would argue right there that if it's close enough to be called a strike on 0-2, then that's not a good pitcher's pitch. But if the umpire's going to give you an extra ball on the outside corner, go ahead.
Haley Randall. And that's called a ball.
Okay.
Well, we are not directly behind home plate, but
No, and the one that the umpire will almost always get right, he's in the inside slot, so he's looking at the inside pitch directly.
2 balls, and this is one of the few batters that Ronnie Westrate has fallen behind on.
Now, see, I noticed there, John, that was only one time in the glove.
Comes in with a strike.
And I know it's true, it seems trivial, but she needs to do the same thing all the time.
Here we go now, here we go.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Foul back. And the count is even.
I may be mistaken, but I don't think I am. Somebody was telling me that of the 2 Westrate girls, this is the older of the Westrates. That Jessie Westrate is a year younger than Ronnie. I may have that reversed.
Popped up, out of play.
Hey, here we go now, 4. Here we go now, 10.
Now we're back to 2 tosses in the glove. Got to keep them guessing. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This could be the first base runner.
This is as close to the first base runner as they've come, I think.
Swing and a miss. And Westrate takes care of business.
She missed her target by a full plate. She was trying to throw that ball in the outside corner, and she sunk it inside. But sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Elisa Cueva, third baseman, steps in as Westrate continues to cruise along.
That's a ball low, but I'll tell you, that's still a good pitch. Cueva's a good hitter. Just missed. You're pitching a little bit more behind now. Okay, now it's got to come all the way back.
Battle back.
She needs to stay in her routine. It'd be big if Cueva could get on and just kind of break this string.
Gotta have base runners.
Lock and load, Spur. Lock and load now. Here you go.
And a foul ball swinging on that 3-0 pitch.
See, I tell you what, coaching-wise, I don't think that's a great move. I mean, let's try to get a base runner.
That's it, 4. That's it, 4.
I love being aggressive, and I love teaching kids to be aggressive, but I think that's a good time to take a pitch.
Especially with Ajari coming up next.
Exactly.
And Westrate now with a full count after falling behind 3-0.
We talked about it earlier, the fast pitch pitchers are so good that 3 balls is not a terribly large concern because they can control the ball so well. That's going to be a tough play. Going to be a tough play. Get rid of it.
Good job, and the out. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. So the few balls that have been hit have not gone very far, and the fielders have taken care of it.
Just another jam shot off the handle. Routine play, comes up, takes your time, has a runner that's not burning down the first base line and makes the play.
So as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, a 4-0 advantage for the Delta Heat over the Outlaws from Benicia, California.
And we're going to get a new pitcher here, I think. Nope.
The Outlaws have several pitchers listed on the roster, but it looks like Ajari is coming back out. Not sure why these pitchers take so much time to get out to the circle.
Yeah, well, she was on deck, but I mean, it's like a four steps into the dugout. So.
She doesn't have catcher gear on. She needs to put the bat down and come out there and get in the circle. But now for the Heat, they have just really played outstanding softball in the last few games we've seen. And their confidence level is so high. Their pitching has been great. They've done a good job in the field, and they've just been smoking the ball.
I tell you, I used to coach against the British Columbia teams back when I was doing summer ball, and out of Surrey and out of Delta, and I loved competing against them. They're good people. Their kids behave the right way, and they play a very, very good level of softball.
And that's one thing that's impressive about these tournaments is the sportsmanship has been really outstanding that we've seen, and it just makes it so much more fun to watch when you have good quality players competing their best, and then after the ball game, win or lose, you continue to be good sports.
Yeah, I think there's a level of respect here because they all know that they're playing at a really high level. They've all proven themselves. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
It looks like leadoff hitter Godmere will be stepping in here in the fourth inning. A correction, Swatsky. I've got somebody right behind me, didn't see. Godmere on deck.
Yeah, the Steph Sheena. She has come in for Veronica Swatsky.
So Sheena takes ball one. Right back up the middle. That's going to result in a run around first base. And Charlie couldn't handle it. And any type of miscue or mishandling of a ball, those runners are getting down the first base line quickly.
And most of the time when you've got a leadoff hitter here, you might try to bunt her out, bunt the girl over, but I don't know if I take the bat out of Godmere's hands.
And call strike on the outside corner.
Change up. Thing just floated across. And again, you might look at that and go, well, boy, does she really froze her? And she probably did, but she's not looking change early.
Tries a bunt, fouls it off.
She's not looking change early, so she goes in and lets it go, which is smart. You don't want to swing at a pitch that you didn't expect and you're fooled by, you won't hit well. And then on the second pitch there, rather than a sacrifice bunt, if I can lay down a drag bunt, same thing, and I might get a base hit out of it.
Right back up the middle, off the glove. There's an out. And runner safe at first base as they can only get the lead runner.
Now, what I'm sure Coach will talk to his lead runner right there. Don't run into a tag. You can freeze right there, and actually you can even run backwards, but buy time for your runner to get to first base so you don't end up at a double play.
There's that changeup again. Hannah Hansen, center fielder.
I thought that one was a bit high, maybe.
Well, they have, let's just say it's a generous strike zone today. Fouled off for strike two.
Way ahead in the count. 0-2. Make her swing at something that is just not good.
Godmere down at first base with 1 out. Bottom of the 4th inning, championship game. Did not get the call on that one. So 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's a good 0-2 pitch. Try to make her reach out there, and Greg hit that ball. That's a good pitch. That is a good job. Oh, nice play.
Beautiful play by the second baseman. Wow. That was Haley Randall out at second base, and she saved maybe having a runner on third and a runner on first.
Yeah, that was going to be a first and third situation at the very least, and that was a good play.
Kiana Jones, runner on second is Godmere. Got fooled on that one, strike 1.
Couldn't hold up the swing right there.
Going to have a conversation with the coach.
Mm-hmm. Don't know what that conversation would be unless you missed a sign.
Here we go, Kiana.
Here you go, KJ.
Because last time up she had a base hit, drove in a run.
2 down now for the Outlaws, who want to get out of this inning right now.
Jones is a real good hitter.
Wait for the mistake and jump on it.
Two balls and 1 strike.
I like the fact that Ajari is throwing that changeup. She just doesn't quite have good enough control where she can spot it.
Inside for ball 3, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Take control, kid.
Okay, Jones is sitting here in a good situation. But you've got an open base. You don't need to give in to her. Might even throw the change again.
That is through. Godmere coming around third base. Play was into second base. Jones, very smart base running.
John, that ball right there was smoked. That ball was hit hard.
Swing it good back, kid.
The shortstop got a glove on it,
Great
but
contact. Here we go.
Gabby Dorval steps in. Still 2 outs. We've got a runner on second base.
Come on now.
Is Jones. And a strike called on the outside corner, and whatever the coach said to Jones must have been effective.
well, I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed. She hit the ball so well right there.
Dorval out to short, over to first for the 3rd out of the inning, but another run for the Delta Heat. It's tough to catch up when your opponent keeps scoring.
She goes back with a change up here, and it's an inside change up, and then she ends up hitting off the handle. Routine play.
After 4 complete innings, our score, the Delta Heat 5 and the Benicia Outlaws nothing.
It's the same thing though, John. A 5-0 lead in the fast pitch game. There used to be a day when this thing was over, but this Outlaw team can hit, and you just never know when they're going to start pounding the ball.
And we will be back right after this message from our sponsors. We are back at the 2019 USA Softball 18A Fast Pitch Western Nationals from Wallace Marine Park in Salem, Oregon. Hope you're having a great day. We've had an outstanding day out here at the park and seen some outstanding games, and still a long ways to go. West Strait rolling along, but as you mentioned, Brian, this Outlaw team, they don't seem to get rattled when they fall behind. They're going to need to get something going here in this inning, I think.
That's so well. They've got the right person up. Amanda Ajari is up. And she can hit the ball. She can put them on the board.
And it will be interesting to see how Westrate pitches to her.
So what she needs to do right now, she's up 5-0. Even if the girl hits it out, worst case scenario, it's 5-1. Attack her. Don't be careful with her. Don't be afraid of anything she's going to do. Just keep going after her.
Ball goes off the first baseman into right field for a base hit, and for Ajari, she never has any slow rollers or any numbers or anything like that. That ball is smoked.
That ball, that ate up the first baseman. Our perfect game is out the window on that one right there, and that first baseman did everything she could, but that ball was hit very well.
That brings up Kate Gillum, playing first base today. Out to the pitcher, over to second. Gets the lead runner over to first. Safe at first. But what a nice decision there by Westrate. And execution so important when you get to this level.
Her footwork on this is really, really good. She gets the ball, she gets herself squared away, and just leads that shortstop. It's a wonderful job. Good footwork by the shortstop as well.
Jennifer McHugh fouls it off down the right field line. Gillum over at first base with one out in the top of the fifth inning. The Heat in the winner's bracket, so if they win today, they will be the champions. If not, they'll have to play one more game. Fouled out of play.
Oh, I think you're going to see Westrate potentially bury something down and in, maybe a rise ball.
And there it is, a swing and a miss. That was well out of the strike zone, but that's tough to lay off.
Excellent pitcher's pitch. Well done. Well done. You see the catcher's up.
2 outs now. Runner still on first base. Jenna Bassa, the center fielder. Fouls it out of play, and hitters having a little difficulty getting around on some of these pitches from Westrate.
She can bring it. For anybody out there that was looking at that, looks at that rise ball and says, you know, why does she swing at that? You've got about 0.04 of a second to make up your mind out of her hand, and when it comes out of her hand, that looks like a fastball.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Several years ago, they did an exhibition where Jenny Finch went up against one of the greatest hitters in baseball, Albert Pujols, and he couldn't touch her. And that's because it's 60 feet. It's coming very fast.
It's coming quick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fouled out of play. Hard to catch up.
Way up, Bra. Here we go.
This Heat team's really good, though, John, because their other pitcher, Kiana Jones, I mean, she's a top flight pitcher as well.
There's that changeup. Does not get the call.
That's a great 1-2 pitch, though.
Fans from the north wanted that call.
That's a great 1-2 pitch.
2-2.
Now she's going to go after her with whatever's her best.
And Bassa goes down looking, and how about Westrate? What a great decision here, starting her in this championship ball game.
Wow.
Pitched a little bit in the earlier game.
Just a super pitch. That's just, yeah. She has been dominant.
As we head to the bottom of the fifth, still a 5-0 advantage for the Delta Heat from Delta, British Columbia.
Yeah, it's good that, a side note here, she had the perfect game going until Amanda Ajari got up and broke it up. And if you're going to give up the hit, give it up to the best player. You don't want the number 9 hitter hitting a bleeder somewhere. Have the best hitter come up and get a clean base hit, and if you're going to give it up, that's okay. Good new batter here, it looks like, huh? Autumn Hillier.
Inning for the Delta Heat. Double zeros Autumn Hillier.
Got her own rooting section here.
And I'm thinking, John, that was a F6. I'm thinking that is a uniquely Canadian chant. Adi, 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 oi, oi, oi.
Now that's a case where you're first at bat. You might want to let one go by. Apparently hit the batter. Molescu.
I didn't see it hit her, but when that one comes in that slow, don't work real hard to get out of the way. I didn't look real close. It might have got her sleeve.
Number 13, Jesse Westray.
Jesse Westrate. Grounder out to second, over to second for one, over to first, not in time. But a nicely turned play there. It is so difficult to get a double play with the space between the bases on a softball field. It's just everything's got to bounce your way perfectly.
Perfectly, and that was well played.
Number 4, Ronnie Westray.
Good feed. Second baseman got it over there with everything she could put on it. It's just that Westray runs too well.
Ronnie Westrate. Nice placement on the outside corner. One ball and one strike. The Heat would like to add 1 or 2 runs here, keep the pressure on. They've been pretty consistent, getting at least 1 in every inning except the first. That is through. And that is another nice piece of hitting. Hit the ball where the fielder cannot get to it and advance the runner.
I see down. I wonder if they're going to run for the pitcher. I know I would. I don't want to take any chances on anything happening to her.
Veronica Sawatsky, the second baseman, with 2 outs, 2 runners on.
Number 25,
Having said that, about getting her off the bases, they put her in yesterday, in yesterday's game, to pinch runs specifically, so she must have some speed.
Ajari falls behind, 2 balls and no strikes. Outlaws also have to be careful not to have any balls get past the catcher because these runners can get into scoring position. High fly ball, should be plenty of time, and it is. That is the 3rd out of the inning, so no damage done.
Again, kind of caught it off the label, routine fly ball, pulled in by Baza in center field.
Our score after 5 complete innings, the Delta Heat 5, the Outlaws nothing. And time starting to run out for the Outlaws. They've played a lot of softball today. They lost to the Delta Heat in the 11 o'clock game this morning by a score of 12-2. Then they had to play a tough game against the Nightmare from Oregon City to get back into this championship game.
I think this is going to be the key inning for them. If they can't break onto the scoreboard this inning, coming up in the 7th inning down by 5 against a pitcher like Westrate, tough duty. And this goes back to the same thing, John, you were talking about. Where's our pitcher?
I don't understand that.
You know, we worked really hard at South, where our head coach, and having our girls come out and bring their gloves out to them so we could keep the game going, you know. I mean, I know she was on the base, but
Well, we'll let it go.
the way she's pitching, I think we probably do have to let it go.
She has got a really good rhythm, and I really like the way that she bears down when she gets behind. Hasn't happened very often, but when she's needed to come in with a strike, she's come in with a strike.
She's been dynamite.
This is number 7, Megan Chambers, so the Outlaws at the bottom of the batting order.
Megan grounded out 2 U.S. straight last at bat.
And Ronnie back to throwing the ball in her glove twice now, so.
Okay, then not at all on that one.
Comes in with a strike and another beautiful pitch. So I'm not sure what the routine is here, but sometimes it's 2 hits to the glove, sometimes 1, sometimes none.
And the way she's pitching, she can do whatever she wants.
Called a ball, a little bit low apparently.
Here we go now, here we go.
2 balls and 1 strike.
That's so difficult because she hits that outside corner so well and then just buries one inside and just ties you up.
Ground ball, it's going to be tough. Too late, the ball gets away and backed up by the right fielder, so no opportunity. Got to score that one as a hit.
Got to score that one as a hit, and if she had it to do over again, I wonder if she might have let it bounce and see if it had enough spin to go foul.
That's that number 19,
Jordan Coombs, the right fielder, now with a runner on first base. Nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. 5-run deficit for the Outlaws.
Okay, this is where the Outlaws they've got to get something on the board here.
Infield is in, and the bunt goes foul. This is a real challenge for the bunter here. Defense knows what you're going to do.
Defense knows what you're going to do, and you got a pitcher that throws hard. So deadening the ball is tough.
Got to drag it to the right side there. Gets the out at first base, and Westrate not only having a great game pitching, but she's done a good job fielding her position as well and hitting. So she's having an all-around ball game today.
She is solid. That right there is just fielding it. Good footwork, good throw. I mean, drives me crazy. You know, you see sometimes, especially at the national level, where you get a pitcher that apparently believes that the only thing, we got a pinch hitter.
So Alyssa West
28-21.
comes in for Katie Chambers to hit. As the Outlaws coaching staff recognizing not a whole lot of outs left in this ball game, want to give Alyssa West a chance to show what she can do here.
And right now, if you're the Delta Heat, you're telling your fielders, hey, just get outs at first. Don't worry about that runner.
Nice pitch on the outside corner again, and there's really not much the hitter can do with that. You just have to let it go by. Got 2 more strikes to come.
Now when you've been sitting over in the dugout, now she does that to you.
Ball 1.
You've been sitting over the dugout, kind of watching the game. Coach tells you to go up there, and then she throws the ball on the outside edge of the plate. Holy cow.
And around the knees, too. Swing and a miss. Went fishing for that one. That was one she couldn't really do much with. Better to let it go by and try for another one.
I think that that first strike outside, that outside corner pitch, that causes her now to go out there and start waving at pitches that are outside.
The umpire has been giving her that outside corner the entire ball game, and there is strike 3 again on the outside corner. And being a pinch hitter is tough.
That is tough duty, especially when you got somebody throwing like this.
Haley Randall, second baseman, steps in. Now we've got 2 outs, a runner on second base, and the Outlaws trying desperately to get a run across here.
wow. And after a while, John, you're out of superlatives. I don't know what else to say.
Ronnie Westrate just has been outstanding the entire ball game. Ground ball out to short, tough hop, over to first. That'll do it. Beautiful throw there. And for the Outlaws, it's got to be so frustrating. You had your opportunity here, but Westrate just kind of shut him out.
Like I said, it's and this is beautiful here. She stays back a little bit because she's worried about the runner run into the runner. And actually, if the fielder goes up and the runner runs into her, that's going to be obstruction, and the out is going to be called. So she didn't have to back up there.
As we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, still 5-0 advantage for the Delta Heat over the Outlaws.
And like I said, John, after a while you run out of things to say. I mean, it's just everything she's done has just been so good, and at some point you just have to sit back and watch it and just appreciate it for what it is.
Let's just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, we have seen some outstanding performances at this tournament, and talking with Jessie Isham, the assistant coach at Corbin, knows her softball. She's impressed with what she's seen here. Roger Garcia, the USA softball representative, very complimentary about the job the Salem folks have done here in putting on this tournament. Appreciate his comments. We're very proud to be the host for this tournament.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I'm Jessie, I might be hopping in my car on Monday and heading north.
See if we can get some Canadians.
Exactly.
Amy Godmere, the leadoff hitter, will lead off the 6th inning. Ajari takes something off that pitch, and Godmere fouls it off.
Wasn't it the Huskies? I think it was the University of Washington when they won the national championship. Had their pitcher was a gal out of British Columbia. I want to say Lowry, but it's not that. It's not correct.
Fouled off again. As Ajari keeping on that outside corner, doesn't want to bring it in, and Godmere line it out to right field again.
Oh, 2 now. They could be your pitch. Good pitch. There's nothing wrong with that. Good.
Two balls and 2 strikes.
Battle back all the way, Amy. Here we go.
She controls the strike zone. Godmere does so well.
Stays alive. Ajari really making it tough on her with those outside pitches. And the umpire has been giving that call to the pitchers for both squads all day long. Reaches out, doesn't get enough on it. Easy out to the shortstop. And for Ajari, that's exactly what you need here. No more runs.
Yeah, she's got to shut him down right here.
Anna Hansen, center fielder, steps in. Takes ball 1. Good job by Hansen to lay off that pitch, and that's one that looked good right until the last second.
It's that changeup again. 2 in a row. You don't see that often, but that's okay. You definitely don't see 3 in a row too often. And she did it again.
3 in a row.
So she now feels like that's her go-to pitch, apparently. I also I've never seen 4 in a row, and I didn't there either. That was a good pitch, though. A lot of movement. Broke away from the hitter on the outside part of the plate.
Driven out to left field. It drops in. And maybe one time too many with that changeup.
Once you give a hitter enough time to look at it, they can, it's not that they won't stride. They'll stride, but they'll keep their hands back and still be able to hit it, and that's what she did there. That was a great job by Hansen.
Kiana Jones.
A couple of hits in the book already, and
Big swing. And a miss.
a couple of hits, and they were hit hard.
Strike two, so Ajari getting ahead of Jones.
Okay, so here's what I would say is don't come in with that changeup now, because I think you've shown that now. And don't throw that one either.
That pitch was just a little bit too good.
I don't know. All I know is that everything comes off your bat 100 miles an hour.
Definitely got some pop in that bat.
Man. See, 'cause that's an 0-2 pitch, and she threw that ball, looked like probably inside by 6 inches, and she still got the barrel to it.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Kiana Jones. Popped out of play.
Too close to take. I'm not going to go ahead and put that in the umpire's hands. I'm going to get a bat on it and live to fight another pitch.
Lined up the middle for a base hit. And again, solid contact.
I am a big fan. That ripped up the middle.
Number 1, Gabby Dorval. And just a really solid at-bat. Got behind there. Only takes 1 pitch.
Exactly right. Good observation. She got behind, fouls off some pitches, takes a pitch, gets a pitch she can hit, and barrels it up. Now, Dorval has not had a hit.
2 balls and no strikes.
Which I think is somewhat unusual.
Beautiful play by Ajari, double play. And tough luck there for Dorval, but what a play by Ajari.
And she turned around on this play, and she could have thrown to second for the fourth. I mean, anywhere she wanted. That ball was hit hard. And she could have gone to second in plenty of time. She could have gone to first in plenty of time. She chose first, which was the right play.
So now for the Outlaws, this is do or die time. Top of the 7th inning, trailing by 5. And facing a pitcher who has just been outstanding the entire game from the get-go.
The beauty of this right now, though, John, is that she's got to go through 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to find out if you can go through 3, 4, and 5 and put this thing away. You're just better.
And sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
You know, these players have given it everything here in this tournament. It's a long season. It's a long tournament. And to get to this championship game, especially for the Outlaws after having to play those extra games,
Right side.
got to give them a lot of credit. But for the Heat, they have just been playing their best softball as the tournament moved along. They got a good draw, got a bye in one of their games, and then got a time off between games here on Championship Sunday.
And took advantage.
Took advantage of it, and they've got a pitcher who has been consistent, dominating. Their defense has been solid. Their hitting has been solid. And we better get going here because Westrate is going to pound that glove some more. Now she's going to toss it over to first base. Not sure what our delay is.
the Heat coach is trying to do something with his lineup, and I'm guessing that maybe the umpire's saying, hey, you can't do that. But right now, in my mind, whatever you're doing in the lineup is secondary to making sure she keeps her rhythm.
Yeah.
So, okay, never mind.
Once again, you're watching the 2019 USA Softball 18A Fast Pitch Western National Championships from Salem, Oregon. Wallace Marine Park. Championship Sunday, the final game, if the Heat can hold on here. And so far, they've given no indication that they're willing to give in here, give up any runs.
And here we go. Westrade's given up 2 hits this game.
Ground ball,
Top play, could be a tough play, gotta get rid of it.
safe at first base.
She kind of took her time and sat back on that.
As Cueva able to beat that out. I think she was just wanting to be certain there, and hesitation, here it is. Allowed the runner to get to first.
She waited and took her time, and yeah, bang bang.
Amanda Jari.
You certainly would have liked to have had her come up with nobody on base.
Right side.
Comes in with a strike. She is going to challenge Jari.
As well as she should. I mean, again, worst case scenario, worst thing possible that could happen, you end up down 5-2. I don't know why we're bunting there. She cannot be. She should not be bunting there. You can't do that.
I'm not sure if that's what the coach wanted.
That's absolutely. We're having a chat with her right now. No, we have a mix-up here.
We were behind by 5.
Yeah.
Now she's got 2 strikes on her, and Westrate in the driver's seat here.
Well, that's a good 0-2 pitch right there.
Close. Called a ball.
Great 0-2 pitch. That's a great take.
Called a ball.
Smart pitch, though. She got the outside corner the first time and then moved that out a little bit, see if he'd go ahead and call that pitch.
And absolutely, you do not want it right down the middle or inside.
Nope.
Jari can get that bat head on it and send it out of here quickly. Foul back.
Ball's coming right at me.
And the shadows starting to encroach on the field here in late afternoon in Salem. After 5:30 local time.
The ball going through sunlight and shadows is the last thing that Westrade needs in terms of help. She busted her inside. That is a gutsy call.
I don't think she needs any help, though.
That is a gutsy call to come inside on her. You know, she's learning. She's leaning outside. That's Rachel McClure. Looks like she's coming up to hit. She's leaning outside to try to cover that outside pitch. And
Rachel McClure.
So a pinch hitter, Rachel McClure.
that was just a great pitch. Man. It was a great pitch, but what really hurt Ajari on that was that bunt attempt. Put it behind in the
Yeah, you give up a strike there on a play that really has little chance of success, and even if it succeeds, you don't advance much.
Yeah, you end up with runners on first and second.
So it doesn't really get what you need when you have a hitter that hits as well as Ajari to give away a strike. was not helpful for the Outlaws.
No.
Throw down to first base.
Good job, Liv.
Two balls and a strike on Rachel McClure. Grounder out to short. Tough hit. Gets through to the outfield. And Jesse Westrate kind of handcuffed by that one.
Ronnie's looking at her sister. Come on, hey. Gotta help me out. They just gotta get the lead runner again. Keep attacking them because you're up there. You got a 5-run lead, trade outs.
Jennifer McHugh, the hitter. Back to Westrate, over to third base for the force, over to first base. Not a good decision.
Keep it in front. Keep it in front. There you go.
Unfortunately for the Heat, Emily Horn was able to find that ball, but not a chance to make the play at first base, and would have been better not to throw that ball.
Absolutely correct. Just eat it. Don't get greedy here.
Yeah, you talked about, Brian, the importance of one out here. That's what you need. Get that lead runner here. You got the lead runner. You got 2 outs now.
Yep.
Down to the last out, and you've got Jenna Bassa. Runners on first and second for the Outlaws.
That's
To second base, that should do it. And the Grafton Heat are the 2019 USA Softball 18A Fast Pitch Western National Champions. What a performance, defeating the Outlaws from Benicia, California, 5-0. And there's just a whole lot of credit goes to this Heat team. Let's start with the pitcher, Ronnie Westrate. She has been outstanding.
She came into this game. She came into the last game, toward the end of the game, and threw some innings and looked pretty impressive, but you couldn't get a good feel for it because they won so big 12-2. She came out and dominated this game. I mean, absolutely dominated it. Wow.
We're going to have the awards presentations here. And it has just been an outstanding tournament. And we talked about the pitching for the Heat, but how about the hitters as well? They came up with a big hit by Jesse Westrate, the 3-run home run, but they kept the pressure on the Outlaws from the get-go.
The Westrate girls had a fantastic Western National tournament. They just did a great job. Jesse with some home runs and Ronnie pitching the ball and hitting. Kiana Jones for the Heat. Outstanding hitter. It's just had, I mean, I could go down this list. The batting order, Amy Godmere, fantastic. I mean, like I said, I would make my recommendation to Jesse. I shouldn't be hopping the car, head north, make sure you take your passport.
We're going to take a break here. We'll have a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with the trophy presentations. Thank you very much for joining us.
So do we do anything in the trophy